Hello everyone and welcome back to Sipto. I am your tour guide for this adventure down the wine and cryptocurrency rabbit hole, Jeremy Cox, and today I've got something fun for you. We're going to be talking about the number 7 coin right now on the coin market cap. Its name is Tether, and we're going to be pairing it with this wonderful Bernardo Winery Chablis, California Chablis. And the reason that I'm pairing this wine with Tether is because things aren't always what they seem. If you know Chablis, that should be a region in France that makes Chablis like Burgundy. And in order to call yourself a Chablis, you would have to be made with Chardonnay and come from the Chablis region. However, this Bernardo Winery Chablis is made with French Colombard and Chenin Blanc. And I'd like to just say right now, thank you so much, Evelyn and Brooke. They were kind enough to bring this wine back from their adventures in San Diego when they went to Bernardo Winery. And we're going to have a little quick taste and talk about this wine. And then we're going to get into Tether because I'm really excited to talk to you about that. It's a stable coin, and things aren't always what they seem in the world of wine and cryptocurrency and the world in general. You know, things are interesting. So, real quick, thank you also, my bro Bob. He bought me this hat from Idaho. If you remember far back, it feels like ages ago now that I did a trip. I took a trip to Idaho and I did some wine tasting in Idaho. I still have those wines, a couple wines that I'm going to be bringing out and pairing with some cryptocurrencies in the future. But here we go. It's hot today. It's Friday, August 2nd, 2019, and we're getting closer and closer every day to the roaring 20s, 2020 to 2030, 2029 actually, when I think that we're going to see some of the most amazing innovations and projects that are going to make your head spin. Technology is moving at a speed that is so fast now that it feels like every day there's something new that's coming out, you know? So anyway, okay, so the wine it's pretty light colored, you know? What you'll get with the French Colombard is actually one of the there's only a few white grapes that are permitted to be grown in Bordeaux, and it's a blender. It's usually made to sweeten up the wines a little bit. French Colombard is a sweet wine. And the Chenin Blanc grape, Chenin Blanc is actually, it's nicknamed the chameleon grape because that grape will suck up anything that it's grown in. So the soils and the minerals and everything else will transfer into the grapes. And one of the most fascinating things that I've ever learned about Chenin Blanc is that you can have a vineyard on one side of the road and a vineyard on the other side of the road, that you could throw a stone and land in the other vineyard, and the wines are completely different. And it's because of the way that the soils act and how that grape is the chameleon grape. Vouvray is the region in France that is known for Chenin Blanc. So if you ever see Vouvray on a wine label, you know that you're drinking Chenin Blanc. Let's get into this blend of Chenin Blanc and French Colombard. It's got a fruity nose. It's not a lot of minerality. There's a little bit of like light floral notes to it, like white flowers. It has a little bit of, it has a little bit. I'm not committing to anything. It has elements of slate rock, like I'm smelling rock in this wine. Now we're going to have a little taste of this wonderful, I'm pretty excited about this California Chablis. It's interesting. It's not super sweet. It has this rich, sweet finish though that is it's honey. There's a honey finish to this. It almost actually tastes like my mouth is coated with honey right now. It doesn't have too much depth. It's not very complicated. which, you know, in the summertime, you're not really looking for like a complicated wine and something to like really contemplate. You're just looking for something to quench your thirst, right? And it's hot today, so I need some thirst quenching. Mm. So another thing about Chablis, you see those jug wines in the stores that say Chablis on them, on the very bottom row, and it's like usually old women. I'm not trying to generalize here, but or stereotype, but older women that are that like their jug wine, and they just want to like they drink some wine at home every night, or even better, it's in a box, and that will also say like California Chablis, and Inglenook made Burgundy and Chablis wines all over the place back in the day, and those were, and Blush, remember Blush wine. It's Chablis is Chardonnay, and it's super, super serious Chardonnay. If you go down the rabbit hole of Chablis and you start tasting through those, if you're not a Chardonnay drinker, try some Chablis. Try some straight like entry level Chablis. One of the characteristics is that they don't use a lot of oak in Chablis, especially in the village level and the less expensive wines. It's so that you taste more of the grape and more of the fruit that's coming off of it instead of being masked by sitting in oak. Once you get to Premier and Grand Cru Chablis, though, those houses do oak their wines, and you will you'll notice that it's very nuanced. It's not an oak monster like Gary Vaynerchuk likes to say. It's more of just these kisses of oak. And some California producers actually go for that, where it's, you know, they're using only a certain percentage, a small percentage of new French oak. The rest of the wine is aged in neutral barrels so that it's not imparting any of the wood flavor on it. But it's a fun grape to explore. It made me rethink Chardonnay, and now when I go out looking for Chardonnays, I do tend to gravitate toward the unoaked variety. But I do like my oak Chardonnay here every once and again, and it's just like, oh, I'm drinking wood. It's so fun. So cheers, everybody. That's the Bernardo Winery Chablis from California. Another thing too, they're not going to give you an actual appellation or where this is made, which would lead me to believe that they might actually be sourcing the grapes just a little bit. But this winery touts itself as being the oldest winery in California, Southern California's oldest family-owned and operated vineyard and winery, from 1889, and they are like pre-Prohibition, right? So Prohibition, that's another one. It literally was a reset button for the wine industry in California, and some wineries were able to survive it, others weren't, and this was one of them, which means that they were probably making some Sacramento wine, or they were making, or they just kind of sold their grapes to people that would be able to make wine at home. All right, so now we're going to get into the coin. And again, the reason that I paired this California Chablis with Tether is because things aren't always what they seem in the world, like I said earlier, and Tether is a stable coin. And what's fun about it is I can relate this to the Libra coin that Facebook and like 20 other companies are working on right now. It's basically trying to be like stabilized to the dollar. So every token, every Tether coin, and every Libra coin, when it comes, if it comes, is going to be as close to $1 as possible, so that it's basically just like par level. Like if you're using Tether, you know that you're going to buy maybe the new Tool album. Actually, you're gonna buy a streaming subscription on any of the streamers so that you can listen to Tool, which came out today. Thank you so much, James Keenan. And you'll be paying $9.99 a month, $9.99 Tether a month instead of $9.99. The chart is very interesting, as you can see here. It's like right there, like at the dollar, and then there's a lot of controversy that surrounds Tether coin. One of them being that Tether was saying that they actually had the backing, like actual dollar backing for all the Tether, and then it came out that they didn't, and that started a little bit of controversy. And then another one is that there's a lot of people out there that believe that when you see a lot of Tether being printed or being minted, that it's getting ready to manipulate the Bitcoin market, and it's the charts do kind of show that happens. This has got some really interesting statistics to it. Again, it's number 7 on coinmarketcap.com, which is your one-stop shop for all things crypto pricing and stats. There are 4,026,461,173 Tether circulating in the market right now. And if you also remember what market cap is, market capitalization, if you take 4,026,461,173 and multiply that by the price right now, which is $1, you get a market capitalization of 4 billion, and it's 44,945,999. So very close to the $1. But that's the same thing you would do for Bitcoin. You would take the circulating supply, which right now is like 17.5 million, times 10,000, right? Last time I checked, it's like 10,400, 450. That would give you the market capitalization of, let's go check it out real quick, just because this is fun to think of, to explain. Market cap of 187 billion, $26,818,000. Right behind Bitcoin, remember, was number 1 cryptocurrency. Number 2 is Ethereum. The number 2 coin only has $23 billion in market capitalization. So that's a difference of $164 billion. So Ethereum's got a lot of catch up to do. What else can I tell you about Tether? Let's see. It's the 24-hour volume. Let's not talk about that too much. That's all. So there's no data for the max supply. They can just mint as much Tether as they want anytime that they want. The all-time high was $1.21 back in May 27th of 2017. All-time low was 84 cents on February 2nd, 2017. So that's one thing to be kind of interesting, that it was as low as 84 cents, and investors would probably be like, wait, I'm losing 16% of my value. It's not a coin that you invest in for like gaining or even trading. What a lot of traders will do is they'll move their crypto into something like Tether or another stable coin in order to avoid a potential correction or a drop in the price of the coin that they're holding. So that's that for today. I think I've covered everything that I want to. Oh, the thing about Libra, going back to Libra coin, like we were saying, is or I was saying that it's going to be paired, basically like paired to the dollar. Like $1 is going to equal 1 Libra coin. So when you're going to be doing any shopping or whatever, that it's going to be that easy. Like, you're not going to have to worry about it. Something that I heard this week that was very interesting along those lines is that when you talk about Bitcoin, you try to say, how much something costs in Bitcoin to relate it to how much money you're spending. Right now, it's like, I spent 0.0001 Bitcoin on this widget, whatever it is, right? Well, Satoshi is a fraction, 100 millionth of a Bitcoin. And there's a push right now to actually create a symbol for Satoshi, so that the future would be that instead of talking about things in terms of Bitcoin price, it would be in Satoshi. So you could say, oh, because right now, $1 is right around 10,000 Satoshi. So it's a little under 10,000, because once at $10,000 Bitcoin, $1 is 10,000 Satoshi. I'm hoping I'm not getting too technical on you, but that's about it. I will stick around. Hopefully you will stick around for the bonus time. I'm gonna fill you in on the adventures, non-Bitcoin or cryptocurrency and wine related. I dragged my wife to a Pink Floyd cover band concert last week. I'll talk about that. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Crypto Sipto. I hope that you would subscribe to my channel, that you would hit the like button. Please comment, or any questions that you'd have down below. I'm happy to answer them for you. This is a shout out to you, Eric, also. get a YouTube account, make up a name, do whatever, make up a fake email address. But that's the only way that you're going to be able to communicate with me here in Crypto Sipto land, you know, and until we are doing it in person. But I know you have a lot of questions because you keep asking me about it, or you're just trying to figure things out. I don't know. Anyway, till next time, everybody. Cheers. Thank you so much for joining. All right, so welcome back to bonus time, everybody. And bonus time equals a little more wine. And I'm going to keep it semi-short today because, like I said, it's hot and I don't have any fans on or air conditioning in this room because I don't want to mess up the sound. But speaking of sound and visuals, a week ago, I went to this amazing concert called Beyond the Wall, and it was a Pink Floyd cover band, but they had I think it was the drummer from Jane's Addiction. They had two members of Pink Floyd. One of them was Roberta Flack, I think is her name. She sang that one song that, I cannot sing, but that's as far as I'm going to go. And it was absolutely fantastic. It was in this dome, this place called Wise Dome in the Arts District in downtown LA. And they basically it was like projections. There was all these different videos that or images that they were showing while they were playing the songs. And I can't imagine what it would have looked like for anybody that was on anything. They had couches in the front so you could just sit back and just trip out on all that imagery. I didn't trip out. I don't do any of that stuff. I drink some wine every once in a while. Every once in a while I have a glass of wine. I'm just kidding. But it was amazing. And if you live in LA and can make your way down to the Wise Dome, it's actually also like an art gallery, if you will. There is a heavy Burning Man presence there. The artist that is in one of the domes, his name is Android Jones, and he's a burner. And so his art is very reflective of that community, and it's mind-blowing. It's really cool. They did this last Thursday night, they did a Grateful Dead Grateful Dead concert, but I don't want to go to that one. I did, but I didn't. My wife was like, I could barely get her to this one. She got so mad when she found out that the concert was going till midnight. She's like, what? And I was like, yeah, sorry, but and I was good though. We left a little bit early. We didn't stay for the entire thing, which is the new thing that we do at concerts now. And I'm like, I'm getting old. That it's like, let's beat the crowd. Let's get out of here, before they do their encore or their final songs. And that just is what it is. The older you get, you're like, oh, well, whatever. What else is there? Bitcoin pricing right now, like I was telling you earlier. Actually, I didn't tell you, but let's go back to Bitcoin for a second. We're trading at $10,475.47. It's been an interesting week for Bitcoin. Ups and downs and all arounds. As you can see here, there was this nice little dip here that if you buy the dip, that would have been a good time to buy. Although this isn't financial advice or drinking advice or anything like that. But as you can see, we're on a steady uptrend. Up. Oh, that's a good one. And then up more. And so if you're bought in, you're bought in. And you are also, if you hold any Bitcoin or cryptocurrency at all, just know that you are part of an echelon of people. And that might sound like kind of an ego word, but you're at the top. You're ahead of the curve. If you're studying it and you're understanding where this technology is headed, just know that, again, like I said earlier, the roaring 20s are right around the corner. And I know that we're going to see crazy advances in artificial intelligence and automation, in big data and machine learning. It's already happening right now, but it's getting pretty crazy. So I think that's going to do it for the bonus time. Unless did you have anything? Do you have any questions for me? No? Okay. Well, that's going to do it then. And I really hope that you enjoyed this episode of Crypto Sipto and stuck around for bonus time. And again, subscribe to my channel, like it, share it. Oh, one last thing. I am now officially transitioning all of my social media, Facebook content off of my main page, and I'm putting it on a Crypto Sipto page. So feel free to find that and like it if you want to keep, when you're not watching these videos, exploring and learning everything that you can through me with cryptocurrency and blockchain. And I try to post as much as I can on that. I do have a full-time job, so I don't have all the time in the world to be doing this, but all of my extra time, if I'm not checking the price of Bitcoin, what's it at right now, is spent, researching and learning more about the stuff. So until next time, everybody, where we're going to be doing the next coin. Actually, I shouldn't say what the next coin is because it might not be the next coin. It's jumping around. I haven't done Binance coin yet, and that one's kind of up. That's number 6. I really wanted to talk about Tether today, though. So we'll explore that one on the next episode. And until then, cheers, everyone. Crypto Sipto land.